Hang on, we're telling more people. Welcome to another live lesson from BBR Productions. I am your host, Thomas J. Beleza. And as always, please like, comment, and share this video and subscribe for future content on how to be successful in the entertainment industry for your career. Today, we're going to go over something very special. We call this creating values, the entrepreneurial brain, thinking outside the box to find solutions. So today, we're going to try to understand is, do you have worth within your circle of influence? And how do you generate worth within your circle of influence? And we call those value sets, creating value sets. So today, we're going to go over a few things. We're going to basically explain what a value set is, how do we ultimately create the mobility, and more importantly, what can we do with them? What is the point of a value set? Why should we even acknowledge that there is a value set? So, before we get started, as always, if you have questions during the live session, please ask in the comments below. Throw it in there. I'll be happy to answer it. If I don't get to it during the lesson, I will answer it in a future video. As always, additionally, I like to keep these videos anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes long. They're just quick overviews of basically the lesson itself. And again, today's lesson is creating value sets, understanding your worth within your circle of influences, how to create that worth, and basically what to do with that worth. Like, why is it important? So let's start off with, what are value sets? Value sets are your mobility within your situations, around people, or with people themselves. The value set is proof of concept or your expertise. Basically, if your worth is proven, it allows you to have mobility with people, to have things such as influence, such as leverage or motive. You can motivate people, or people will just look to you. Where they look for you because you're known for X. You're sought after because of your expertise. You add value to any situation you're in. You are known for your leadership qualities, your resources. Maybe you have resources. We'll go over that in a second. You're needed. People always need you to be around. They're always hoping you can get involved. And of course, referred. Referred has to do with, are you being referred? Are people being referred to you? Okay? And we're going to go over that a little bit too. But let's talk about influence. Influence is ultimately, if I suggest something, let's say I say, hey, you should do A, B, and C, and you're more willing to do it because I said it, that means I have good mobility. I have high influence. Why? Because people probably are seeking me out, right? I'm sought after for knowing a very specific knowledge set. The other thing is that I have leverage within that. So if somebody wants to hire me to speak at a college or a conference or anything, I have the leverage to say, this is how much money I need, because I have the proof of concept. I have the proof of my expertise. All these things create power, okay? You're basically power exerted over the minds of behaviors of others to have an effect on someone or something. Your value sets, depending on how valuable or worthy those sets are, creates the mobility. And the mobility ultimately is this, that you ultimately have an effect on people. If you refer someone to somebody, they're like, absolutely, if you're going to refer them to me, I'm going to take this person seriously. Or vice versa. If someone says, hey, I know the right person for you, I'm going to introduce you to, say, Thomas, that means that person trusts my value and that I will do right by them and the person they refer to me. Therefore, I have a value set. Okay? Mobility is movement within the value set. So if I have influence within my circle of influence, or I have leverage, or I have resources, meaning people in my circle of influence go, Thomas knows the right person, or Thomas knows how to get this done, or hey, we need cameras, call this person. We always know they have what we need, right? That would be that you are needed. And that mobility within becomes your valued worth within your circle of influence. Now, I'll give you an example of influence in two different situations and my mobility. if we were working on one of my sets, like a BBR set, filming a movie or a short or whatever you have, on that set, even if I wasn't directing it, but I was there as the executive producer or producer in general, people would listen to me. They would say, hey, what do you need? What should we do? Hey, we're in this situation. Can you help us with that? They would just come to me because it is my set. It has a lot of value into it. I got us there. And the people working probably know me. They probably know my worth. Now, let's say I'm on Steven Spielberg's set. The only people that would just talk to me, not even want my words, like my advice, would just talk to me, are the people I know on that set. So some of the actors, the background actors, some of the crew, things like that. But if Steven Spielberg's on set, people are going to look to him before they look to me. So that is an example of your value sets in two different areas. So one of those areas, again, would be, I have this, it's my set, my company, BBR, is filming the project. And the other example is Steven Spielberg's company is filming it. On my set, people will listen to me and come to me, and they look to me for leadership, right? Leadership. But if I was on Steven Spielberg's, I, in turn, would have less value than Steven Spielberg, or I should say, less valued influence, okay? Moving on. So how do you create a value set, right? We know that a value set allows you these resources. And by the way, this is just a small collection of examples. There are many things. Basically, anytime you have the ability to have an effect on someone, and the value of that effect is ultimately a value set, right? Because influence, but how much do you have? Can you, or if you do refer someone, yes or no? People's are you people's first choices? So that's an example of a value set. So if people are thinking, hey, who can we get to write this? Oh, I know, Thomas. If I'm in their top, if I'm the top choice or their top 5, I have a high value set of worth with that person. And if multiple people in my circle of influence are coming to me to write scripts, I have more worth. My value worth has gone up. If I refer someone or don't refer someone, as I said earlier, are they excited that I referred someone? Because they're like, somebody that Thomas knows is worth my time, or vice versa. If they, am I worth being referred? Do I bring my A game? Like for me, sometimes I'll do things for nothing or a reduced rate, but I still give them top dollar effort, meaning they're going to get the best potential product they possibly can get from me. So if I'm doing a pitch deck for them, if I'm writing a script, whatever the case may be, I still bring my value even at a reduced rate or zero, because I'm trying to create value sets. I'm always in the process of adding worth to my relationships. So how do you create those value sets? Well, basically what I just said. Do and do some more. What you do and how well you do it becomes the proof in your effort, right? So proof of concept is literally doing it. So proof is in your effort. If you do something and you do it a lot and people know you do it, and the people that are working with you in that or working around you, and they're seeing your quality, it will create these value sets, okay? So in my group, my circle of people, I'm always being referred to write or to consult or to help somebody work out basically a game plan for their project, right? 2, show your expertise more. Truth in action. How do we show expertise? Well, one example is, an example is this example. Everything I'm doing right now. So I'm doing videos, right? The video is not only letting me write out what's needed, but it's showing that I can discuss it. So these are just simple notes, and then I'm going deeper into the concept. So if somebody watches this video, they'll see that I know what I'm talking about. So that's the start. The next part to show your expertise is physically do it. So if I am showing this, right, I mean telling you and being able to explain it, therefore I'm knowledgeable on it, I'm well versed on it. Next, you have to see this in action. So how do you do that? Well, on my social media, or if you're around me and people are coming up going, hey Tom, I was told you're the person to talk to, or whatever the case may be, right? Or you see in my social media, I'm working on more and more scripts, or I'm constantly helping people with consulting. That is the physical representation of my truth. It's my truth in action, okay? And third, how to create value sets, missions, morals, and ideologies. This is who you are. Live your truth. Okay? The value sets that you create, the influence, things like that, are also based on your missions, morals, and ideologies. Basically, who you are as a person is represented in the things you do. So when people are around you, they want to know what your value is because they agree with your missions, they agree with your morals, or they agree with your ideologies. They don't have to believe all of them, but they can agree, or they at least they say, yeah, I can appreciate or respect what that person believes. And therefore, people go, well, they believe this and I believe this, so I'm going to listen to them, and that creates influence, right? So there's another form of your creating these value sets. Now, why do you even want to create value sets? What's the value of creating value sets, or worth, or mobility within your circle of influence? Well, some of it comes down to, well, do you want people to believe you? Well, be honest with people. Be trustworthy. That creates influence. That creates leverage. That creates that you're known for. They're known for being honest. They're known for being somebody you can trust to get it done. If you tell so-and-so to do A, B, and C, you know that person's going to get it done, right? So that's why your truth in action creates all this value, which in turn creates opportunity. People want to work with people that they believe in, that have these value sets, and you're basically showing what you can do, right? The other thing is, what if you want people to come to you first? And if you can't do it, you know someone who can. Well, build your circle of influence. That's right. So I'm basically the person that everyone goes, hey, ask Thomas if he could do it. If he can't do it, he knows someone who can do it. That's a value set that I created. I'm known for knowing people. And I did that by building my circle of influence, by putting time into people and building and cultivating those relationships, exploring more and more outreach. And I introduce people all the time. Anyone who's in my circle of influence, if I see they have value sets and they're doing right by other people, because remember, missions, morals, and ideologies. So I want to be around people that fit a lot of the things I believe. Not to create an echo chamber, but if I believe people should help one another, why would I work with or recommend or even acknowledge someone who doesn't want to help others? That it's all about them first. It's me, 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 right? So if I'm elevating people that fit that ideology, that mission to help others, and others are helping, that builds up the value. And then now it's a group of people that one of the elements of their missions, morals, and ideologies is that these people help one another. Okay, so a quick overview. Oh, we did good today. We did really good, right? I said 10 to 20 minutes. We're 13 minutes in. I love this. This was a good quick lesson. But I'm going to do just run through just so you can take some notes. Before I do that, remember, like, comment, and share this video so we can share the knowledge, so we can elevate others, because as you know, my motto is work together, grow together, rise together. Okay, and please subscribe for future content if you're interested in learning how to succeed in your career, specifically the entertainment industry. All right, real quick, creating value sets. What is your worth within your circle? Your worth within your circle of influence, which is down here, okay, is basically how much influence do you have over the people within that? Do people listen to you? Do people reach out to you? Do people want you there to lead them? Do people respect you? Are you sought after? If somebody asks you to do something, do you have a little bit of leverage? Do you have a lot of leverage? And that's really how you figure out your worth. Like, for example, you know, if say out of 10 friends, only 2 friends come to me often asking me for stuff, that means I really only have, what is that, 20% influence? It's not a lot of influence, you know. That means two out of 10 people are like, hey, maybe we should talk to this guy. And then the other one's like, maybe not. Gotta drink that way. You gotta stay hydrated, kid. All right. The reason you create these through proof of example, proof of concept, and your expertise is because you allow this, which creates the mobility within. It's ultimately what I said, the 2 out of 10, which leads to the power to extract over the minds or behaviors of others to have an effect on someone or something. That's a simple thing, you know. How much effect do you have on people around you? Do you influence others to create, right? So if you've watched these videos, and you should watch these videos, build your circle. Your circle of influence is not surrounding yourself with people that can influence your career. Your circle of influence is about people who influence your behavior, that you're around people that create good habits within you because you see positive habits. So you become that influence within your circle of influence, and boom, you're creating value sets. And also, these three things, by the way, are not the only things you could do to create value sets or showcase your abilities. And your abilities don't have to just be they're a writer. They don't have to be they direct. It doesn't have to be they play guitar. It doesn't have to be he has the best equipment. You're also trying to prove your ability, as in like your elemental qualities. Are you trustworthy? Are you honest? Are you on time? Are you kind? Are you funny? Or are you good to be around? Do you elevate others? Do you things like that? All right. Also, your resources, just your resources in general, is like, what faculties do you control? What abilities do you have that add value to a situation? If you join a project or get involved in something with other people, are you there to say, this project is not the right course, we should do a different project? In fact, why are we working on your project? We should work on my project. If that's you, you're going to have low value sets. You should be joining projects to elevate their mission or their end results. However, you can, if you have strong enough value sets or skill sets, you can add alternatives to accomplish plan A, meaning you come set with plan B, C, D, and E that will influence plan A. Not that it would change the course of the ship. You don't want to get on a ship and be like, hey, I know we're going to the Bahamas, but maybe we could go to Alaska. Right? They'd be like, you are on the wrong ship. Anyway, so the creative things to do and do some more. So just be active. Literally showcase your abilities. Get involved as much as possible. Show your expertise more. What I'm doing right here, I'm able to explain myself, plus I am showing it. So you could show it on social media. The other things you could do is basically show it in real life. Like if you're doing a seminar, or let's say you're like, well, I don't speak. Well, if you're an actor and you act, right? So what's the difference between do and do some more versus show your expertise? Well, showing your expertise is maybe sitting down with friends that are actors or the other actors that are working, and you sit down and you organize a get together to do a personal private table read to work out the parts. That's showing your expertise because you're taking initiative and you're doing it. You're making an effort to help others. Whereas do and do some more, if you're an actor, you're like, well, I will act, and I will act efficiently, and I will make sure that I memorize my lines and that I'm good at breaking down the script, and that I'm on time, and I do I hit the one, I hit my spots and whatever, right? But the show your expertise would probably be that you're getting more involved. You're taking an initiative to help others within your field, right? And then a mission, moral, and ideologies. Just know who you are. Know what's important to you. Know what your basically live your truth. The things you believe, the things you. Here's a really good example to end the episode. Okay. For me, I believe that we should help one another. I believe that we should share knowledge. That's why I try to do all these, as many free outlets as possible, to just be like, this is literally do this, right? So because those things are important to me, I try to do them, right? I try to be as honest as possible, because I have a philosophy. If I can't be honest with you, because if I am honest with you, it will cause a negative response from you, then I should be questioning either A, what my behavior was that I'm trying to hide, or B, our relationship, that I can't do the thing that I did that may have been okay for me personally, but you don't agree with the behavior. And now that's saying you should be able to honestly talk about, hey, A happened, B happened, C happened. This is the result. Let's work through it. No problem, right? So you should be able to be honest with it. All right. So anyway, that's it. I'm Thomas J. Beleza. This is BBR Productions. We do these lessons Monday through Friday. That's our goal. We're gonna 4:30 every day. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right. Hasta luego, wiedersehen, au revoir. Okay. Ciao. See you. Let's say good night, sweet.